Kamen Rider Build.
Hey YouTube, Dawson Rider here with my review of Kamen Rider Build episode 42, I believe it is. I just forgot. It'll be right in the title and stuff, but I'm saying 42 for this one. In this timeline, it's 42. Okay, so this was a very okay episode, I would say. It wasn't really bad, but it wasn't really knock your socks off or anything. Also, who still uses knock your socks off? Please tell me. No, don't. I don't want to know. No, but yeah, it was almost like one of the most average build episodes we've gotten in a while. I mean, there was like a lot of action, a lot of little things happening, but there was no real huge reveals or plot progress or anything like that. It was just kind of the most matter-of-fact Toku episode, just kind of existing in the status quo. I mean, there was some technically major stuff, but I'm just talking about in the context of Build, like the way episodes usually flow, where something super major will happen, or there'll be a plot twist, or a huge development. Like, the most major things that happened in this episode were basically Toto's, was it Toto? Seto? Toto? The main government, like our main town we live in. I always get them mixed up for some reason. I think it's Toto. Like, you know, from Kansas anymore, you know, Dorothy. Like, their government building done got sucked up. Like, that was a major thing, but I think that really speaks a lot to what happens in Build, where that just felt so matter-of-fact. Because, you know, basically, we spent most of the episode either in battle or sort of talking about the situation we're in. Like, we start off, they're like, oh yeah, my dad's alive, like, could he be evil, could he not? It's honestly weird, in a way, to have Sento talking about and being motivated by past things. Like, he's talking about his dad, and what his dad wanted, and like if he believes in him. And it just, because we spent so long with him as an amnesiac, and then when he found out, just most of that story and dialogue referring to like, oh, the demon scientist, it's weird to have him be so motivated in this arc by his past. But there was like a lot of talk about that. A couple of different battles when Seto's forces were invading, you know, via Stalk pretending to be that guy. And so we had like basically just two battles that were very similar, where we had the pairings of Rogue and Build fighting, and then Grease and Kraz fighting. But like the first one had the building get sucked up, and so that was a thing, and then that triggered like literally Ryuga to again start having those sort of old evil memories, and it sort of caused him to go a little bit crazy and create a silver bottle thing. And the other major development was there's a second Kamen Rider Build who was sort of observing, and he like, I think he stole the silver bottle and he attacked Grease and Ryuga after one of the battles. And like, it's really funny like how obvious it was. Like, he created a shroud, so he could have easily been undetected for that battle, but like in the shroud you hear nin comic rabbit tank, so like you know exactly what's happening. Because like the first are like, oh, who is that? But then you're in the scene with Ryuga being like, what's that? And so you know how that goes. But yeah, like even though those were important events, it just didn't feel like a monumental episode. Like, a lot of it was just about like, hey, this war's still going on, and Mad Rogue's a little bit confused by Evolt's motivations, like how does this align with what I signed up for, but I don't care because I'm still crazy, and stuff like that. And you know, sort of classic strengthening the character's resolve to what we already know it is, you know, because they're in the second fight with Evil. Build does the classic like, we're Kamen Rider, we fight for justice, and Rogue's like, yeah. That really simplifies what his upheaval was, but yeah. And so, you know, they keep fighting, and there's little bits of Ryuga going out of control, and then at the very end, you have new Build, or second Build, whatever you want to call him, Bob the Builder, Build Dad, Da Build. I'm trying to bother. It's Sento's Faja. Anyway, I was trying to think of more jokes there, it just didn't work out. But like, he shows up and Dion transforms and is like, oh my god, it's my daddy. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I just don't have as much to talk about this week, because it was solid, I enjoyed it, there was some cool action, but it was just so matter-of-fact. I mean, basically, you know, we got the tease of there being a second Build in last week's preview, and everyone kind of assumed it was his dad, and then it was, so there's no new information there. The government building got sucked up, and we reminded of Ryuga stuff, but yeah, it was fine. I'm looking forward to seeing how the second Build stuff happens. There was kind of a scene with Sento and Kasaragi in like a mind palace, very much reminiscent of like Philip's Lookups, if you're a Double fan. And they talked about like, whoa, Dad can't be bad because he made this shoot for justice, and Kasaragi's like, justice, ... gotta go. So we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of, oh, he's just been led astray or something. I think it'd be more interesting if his dad was kind of more twisted. I don't know. I'm tired of the predictable like, oh my god, this person was bad, but then they weren't really. Like, I know Kasaragi wasn't as good as Sento, but I felt like they sort of watered him down a little bit, if that makes any sense. So I'm definitely curious to see where it goes, but there just wasn't a whole lot to talk about this week, like as much. It was kind of just an overall standard, like run-of-the-mill build episode for me. I would give it a 7.5. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notifications so you can actually see these crazy reviews if you want to. Is Dawson Rider signing out.